All right, you guys. Welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast. It's me, Jenny, being here with us. Uh, we thank our guests, our live viewers, and our live studio audience. As you know, we're located at 1656 Kane Avenue in Camden, New Jersey, here at their academy. And we are a community based promotional platform exposing the voices of the voiceless to bring awareness to brands created by the people for the people. We use our voices to share truth, creativity, and encouragement with our listeners to nurture, heal, and inspire them in hopes and effort to make the world a better and more empathetic place. Here at WCMD Media and Dare Academy, we are becoming a part of the spotlight for the County of Camden to build and enhance the quality of life by bringing awareness to our outlets, our programs, and self-help topics. Our guests range from independent entrepreneurs, mainstream music artists, creators, city officials, and county businesses. Not to mention great visual from our surrounding cities and areas that support our city, either directly or indirectly. We also offer red carpet interviews. You know, social media has taken over every aspect of our lives and our culture. And our platform, it might be the same as other podcasts, but our guests are unique. They're popular, and they have been supporting the qualities of human life. Our plan has always been to bring an extra push to the voices that we, in some areas, often overlook. From indie to mainstream, our music sends the message of strength and struggles of the composer. Our authors introduce literature that exposes the depths of human stability in health and nature. With the goal of staying on top of our marketing and developing, we radiate good habits to our community and yours. And we also have a lot of fun. This is our comfort level. So we can be viewed in a lot of places, anywhere you get podcasting. We can be viewed live and recapped on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and via web. Make sure you check out all our outlets, the Comfort Level Podcast and WCMD Media that do podcasts here. Okay. And we're also breaking records. That's right. We break records. Get your tracks on the radio, online, FM, whatever. You know, get the DJs playing your songs. So if you're interested in that, you can check me out as the owner of RMC Independent Radio and my 6 p.m. Friday show broadcast on the block105.com radio. Okay, so both online stations where artists earn royalties both play 24 hours daily. So you can submit your tracks to the host at thecomfortlevel.com. Thecomfortlevel.com. Host. Okay. Or if you prefer reality music co at gmail.com. Most people know that. So, hi, Meek. Philly's baby is here. She's watching. Thanks for coming through. I'm gonna give us some Instagram views in just a few minutes. We got a great guest coming up today, and he's gonna let us know about the process. Yes, that's what it says. Mark V. Smith. He's gonna let us know about the process for living healthy and more understanding and prosperous life. So he's coming up today shortly at 5:30. I will be bringing him in. Okay. So I really didn't prepare anything really because I was going to play it by ear, but I wanted to let you guys know about the lie heat program for people. I know people are still struggling to pay their electric bills and heating bills at a time like this. Yes, I know the weather is starting to change. Spring is here, and well, the bills still are lagging, and you're getting ready to use air condition. So make sure that you check out the OEO and LIHEAP programs for people who have outstanding electric and gas, and this is for both low income residents or, whatever. It's a forgiveness program. The resident cannot already be a home energy assistance client, but they may be low income. So there's funding available. If a person has an outstanding electric bill that is in arrears, a person can receive up to $5,000 on their arrears. And if they have an outstanding gas bill, they can receive up to $8,000. Arrearages on both electric and gas bills, a person can receive up to $13,000 to get that bill paid. So that's through the state of New Jersey. They began sending out lists with names of customers. I don't know if you got yours, but even if you didn't, make sure that you contact. You can check that out right off of your electric bill. Make that phone call, or if you're in Camden County, you can go to the OEO Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program out on Route 70 in Pennsauken. Yes. And there's also funding available under the weatherization program for heater and hot water heater repairs. So if you need that, you can get up to $1,500. Yeah, that's some good stuff. You know what I mean? That's some good stuff. So that forgiveness program, you know, is available from the state of New Jersey. Make sure you can even go Google forgiveness program, and you'll see from the state of New Jersey. All right, so like I said, we got Mark V. Smith coming up. We also booked some great guests. I'm going to keep bringing it to you. Every Thursday we have the mogul queen herself, Janika Quinones, her mogul queen consultant, and her rare jewel organization, which is giving help to kids with trauma. Okay, so also the summer is coming. She's speaking all over, so we're going to make sure that we keep you informed of the events where she will be speaking. And if you wish to have Janika Quinones, mogulqueenconsulting.info would be the way to contact her. Yes. So on March the 22nd, we're going to have Javon Matheru, a life coach and author, come in and talk to us a little bit about life. You know what I mean? We all go through something. We go through something. You know what I mean? Even me, such as myself, people look at me like, oh, she's a strong woman. She's strong. I'm strong in areas. In other areas, I'm weak. You know what mean? And I need help sometimes on some different things. That theme song didn't come out too good. I made a whole video, and I guess I probably downloaded the wrong one. Well, we'll get that next week. I go home and make sure that I tag it right. So, this is a live podcast, so mistakes are made sometimes, just like in everyday life, mistakes are made. And that's why we have a chat here to correct them. So, I appreciate the engagement. If you have any questions whatsoever, please put them in the chat or put them in the call or call in. The number is 856-964 WCMD, which is 9263. It's running across the bottom of the screen. You can call in. We can hear your voice. We can hear your question and have your question answered when our expert comes on. And I started doing this, I know that, I am a music manager and have music artists, radio shows, dabble in everything that has to do with music, but I wanted to have a separation from the music with the podcast. Of course, the music artists need exposure. But put it this way, so many of them. You know what I mean? There's so many of them, and I feel like your music is also a gift to us. But it's not special. It can't be special unless you put something with that, to give to us. We as fans, okay, we giving you our special attention by listening to your music, subscribing to your channels, buying your music, buying tickets to your shows, and spreading the word about you. As a loyal fan, that is what we do. So, other than music, I express to my co-hosts, which are also music artists, uh, Papers, Mills Young. They're also music artists, and I had to explain to them about how I was going to separate the music from the podcast. Not that we're not bringing music to the podcast, but this podcast is not syndicated for mainstream music as of yet, because our game is stepping up every day. But it's not syndicated for the mainstream music, and I don't do nothing unless I got legends. You know what I mean? I don't do it. You know what I mean? I want realness. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that nobody is real, but you have to understand me. This is my time. So, they always say the heart wants what it wants. Well, the heart and the mind wants what it wants simultaneously, So I'm always thinking about something that, you know, I can create, and I have the vision, you know what I mean? But when the vision comes and everybody just wants to stand on the mic and rap, it blows the vision, you know what I mean? And it's not helping us because of the lyrics. Okay, we need a little bit more in the lyrics. We need you feeding the homeless. We need you serving, pulling in awareness groups. We need things like that. The home is in a wreck. Okay, the home is in a wreck, and those are the reasons why you're singing those lyrics. Everything's in a wreck. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. Let me see, make sure that mic is good. So the home is in a wreck, and the lyrics is coming, and the lyrics are making it worse and worse and worse. It's one thing when you're telling your story. How many times are you going to tell the same story? I want to know, like, really, with the artist, like, who are you talking to? You know, with all, I'll do this, I'll do that. Who are you talking to? Okay, we got it. We want to know. Okay. Now back to the guest. March 31st, we got Katie Kanakis coming, and you know who she is. Yes, Katie does music, and also, she's a big movie star. And, we got Joe Templin coming, Shaylee is coming, Sue Lindquist, Rusty McDonald, and Imani Labels is going to find me and give me an interview. So, What's up? Look what the wind blew it. Little
Yeah.
square box. You looking like Bobby Brown up in there. What's up, Bob?
What's going
How
on?
you
What's going
been?
on? I'm already and
I ain't
stuff,
seen you in a while. Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome, welcome. Papers, y'all.
Man, Paper Man back with a banger, man. You know what time it is, baby. Sitting here with Jenny Schmanny on the Cover Level Podcast at WCMD Media.
Right back
What's
into
going
it, right?
on? What's the deal? How y'all doing out there?
We
What's been
ain't
up?
doing nothing. We just talking about, I was just telling them what I was doing with the podcast, how we was gonna try to improve a little bit, bring a little bit more this one is good, awareness for the people. You know what I mean? Start working on our inner selves and home.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean?
good,
Other
good,
than the
good.
music. Yeah, I like that little haircut. It's
Oh
not bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you,
it's
thank
not
you.
that bad.
Thank
Make
you.
you look 10 years younger. Is that the effect that you're trying to get?
I wasn't going for that, but I just thought it would bring some type of new type of energy. You feel what I'm saying? So,
All right, well, let me get this live up
I
here
love
so
to
I
have
can
my
let the people
hairline
see
back.
this
You feel what I'm
haircut.
saying? I got the Steve Harvey hairline. That joint
Yeah, you
ain't
look
going
like
nowhere.
Steve Harvey, son. What's going on? What's up with that?
Mhm.
There it is.
Yeah.
Paper's got a new haircut, y'all. Back with a banger.
Yeah, you know what time it is.
There it is.
Paper Man back with a banger, man. So
Yeah,
what's been up other than that?
nothing, since you've been on your little hiatus.
I've just been working. Tell you the truth,
Working.
I've been
Yeah.
working. Yeah, I've been working so much. Like I've been doing so much HVAC. It's been crazy. Like so many installations and boilers and getting yelled at. And it's just like all of this is the same mixture. You feel what I'm saying? But getting paid quite good too. So so it's
Check
just.
that out. But that's very
But
interesting because I was just telling the audience about, we cut down on the music and stuff because, the artists done told their stories and everything, and now their lyrics ain't nothing but a bunch of junk. We don't even know who they talking to.
mhm.
But this is a prime example right here of somebody that's doing something else. This is what I'm saying. The, I know papers and I know that he does more than HVAC. He restores homes and stuff like that and all kinds of stuff. Tell you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I do a lot,
Okay.
but
Yeah, but
I try to keep it together.
yeah.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
You like one of these?
You got to keep it together. Yeah, I'll take a water. But hey, the most that I can say is I've been having a good time. It's been teachable. It's been learnable. I still got a whole lot to learn. It's still a habit doing HVAC.
Well, how
But
long you been doing it?
I've been doing it for like
You certified in it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like 3 years.
This is what I'm saying.
But I
You know
just
what I
got
mean?
into it the last like actually doing the work in the last 5 months.
Oh, okay. So you work under somebody and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I've been going because I've been doing
Right. I
HVAC.
know. I've been talking
As
to
soon as
you
I
all
got in the
along.
HVAC, it was like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But it's
But that's what you
decent.
got to do. He
It's
copped the
decent.
trade up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He had the trade, but he got you got to implement it.
Yeah.
Why would you take a course in something and not do it? You waste your time. You think,
Hmm.
or maybe sometimes people have to take some other instruction to get to where they're getting to. You know what I mean? Like a nurse has to take a bunch of classes, even though she's not going to be in that field. You still know how to save somebody from. You know how to deliver a baby, even though you're a dentist. Put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different
Well, see,
ends.
at HVAC, you gotta learn so many different. You gotta learn a boiler. It's different things to the boiler, different tools.
Hmm.
Putting in a downstream, a upstream. Putting in furnaces is
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean? You got so many different type of joints, and you got to really memorize this stuff too because you got to know the different tools to use.
Right.
You know, different setups and all that. So I don't know. But that's what I've been doing. I've been maxing and relaxing, baby. Working real hard. Going home, going to sleep. Because that's what it make you do. You by the time you get home, you be so tired. You be ready to go to
Yes.
sleep, man. I try to tell you, man. And then you gotta wake right back up for it and do it again. You know. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Good things come to those who wait. You spend money every day, but the real good things that come to you in life. That's what you look forward to. That's what you look forward to. Not so much the money.
So you're saying it's a process?
Yeah, it's always a process. It's a process in everything that you do. Process of, you gotta have awareness. You gotta be, knowledgeable. You gotta be on point.
Well, I'm gonna send this out
What's that?
to our guest. His name is Mark Reed Smith.
Hey, what's going on, Mark?
He's not here yet, unless he's watching, and he'll be in on just a few minutes, and he's gonna tell us about the process.
Mm, okay. We all would need a little, we all need a little lift in life from time to time, just to to get some type of balance in life and just to be able to know that you can make it in life
Yes, we
and,
do.
and being able to know that you can go further, you know uh
Yeah, we all do. So
uh, you know
it's not just that. I mean, like it's a lot of people that's living. I ain't gonna say fraudulently, but they're not happy. They try, and when the pandemic came, we found out a lot more about each other.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We found out a lot, and we had to make a lot of adjustments. Like say somebody wasn't home a lot or whatever. The pandemic came, you had to stay home more. So you ain't even know what was going on at
Yeah,
home during the day while you was
right
at
now,
work.
you looking
You
at it
know,
like
yeah,
this
like
the
is
nice
this
shit
what
that's
you
going.
be doing? Yes,
Yo,
is
get
that
me
the
out. Hey,
fucking?
boss, you got some work? You got some work? Oh,
We
look,
can't go in because they said
look. I
COVID.
went and picked up a second job just to,
I don't know how you did
just so
that
you won't,
during the
deal with
COVID.
yeah, doing the daytime stuff. Whew. Being in the house with the kids is one thing,
You couldn't go out to dinner.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You
All that
couldn't
other
do
stuff. So
anything. It was nothing to do.
you had to
Just
make up
sit.
time. You had to make up your time. You know what I
You had
mean?
to start growing your own garden so you could be outside tilling the garden and things like that. But we all struggle with mental uh, things and stuff like that. So it was a struggle. How are you? Let
I'm
me.
well. I'm good. How about yourself?
I hear you. Great. I'm doing great.
I was listening to y'all over on Facebook Live a few minutes ago. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. We was trying to stay with it to bring you in on it. Mr. Mark V. Smith, welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast here at WCND. This is my partner,
Hello, Mark.
Papers.
Papers.
Yeah.
I need a good HVAC guy out here in the Maryland area. Come on out here. Get some work.
Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt.
He
How's
hasn't
everybody
been
doing
here.
this evening?
Excellent.
Good, good, good. Thank you
Excellent.
again. Thank you all for having me again. It's a pleasure.
I'm glad to have you. I had well, let me tell you how I found and more how he found me. That's what he did. I applied and I made a page on I forgot what it's even called. Oh, but I made a page where you can find podcast guests and different guest speakers and motivation. Everything that I need is on there, and they just start coming at me left and right. Mr. Smith was one of the first ones that came
Wonderful.
at me. Yeah, and so we, um, well, he said that he could bring something to the podcast that would help us out. Like we keep this podcast going to build up the culture awareness and things like that. Just trying to make things better. Because we know it's been hard. In the last 2 years, it's been even harder, and a lot of us suffer with traumas that have been overlooked and things like that.
Mhm.
So, could you just tell the world what you do?
Well, again, I'm good. I'm glad to be here. I am a um, some people would say a motivational speaker, but I like to say I'm a transformational trust agent. Let's just put it like that. You hear me talking a few minutes ago about some of the things that I did when I was younger, and I used to say I used to live life transactional, meaning what can you do for me? How are
Okay.
you going to help me benefit? And then I realized as I got older that it's not about living transactional; it's about living transformational. And it's about sharing gifts and sharing your talents and sharing words of encouragement to people in a rough world. You just hit it right on the head. It's a rough world. We look at social media, we look at the television, everything is so negative in connotation. And we even walk outside and there's that negative energy and that negative vibe. So I
Yes.
said back in just 2019, what can you do, Mark? You need to get your behind off the sidelines, get back into the front lines, and share your story, share your journey, share your quest with individuals to help make them better every single day versus what the news says, which is make them bitter every single day.
We've been focusing on the phrase "save one young life."
Hmm. Hmm. And that's powerful. I spoke about 3 5 weeks ago in Baltimore, right downtown Baltimore, and a young lady came up to me and said, "Well, Mr. Smith, I love when you were talking about growth." And we're going to touch on my acronyms here in a second. She said, "I love when you talk about growth." She said, "What is your ultimate goal?" Because I teach a lot about thinking. I heard you before. You talked about something earlier before, while I was in backstage about changing excuse me, the vibe and the culture of music. How some of
Yeah.
these rappers just come on here and they don't know what they're talking about. And what you guys have started to develop, I say that old mentality. Some people can see, but not many have vision, right? So my vision was to change over well over 350,000 lives through the course of what I do. And she said, "Well, Mark, how are you planning to do that?" I said, "I'm doing it now because one changes two. Two, as you talk about, two saves four. Four saves eight.
Wow.
Now we're starting to affect the generation. Now we're
Yeah.
changing lives. We're changing families. We're making. I also facilitate a program in Baltimore called the Baltimore Responsible Fatherhood Program. So
Mhm.
I sit down with these men and talk to them about the importance of how much our world, our society needs them to step up. How much our children, not so much. Quit looking at your children. Think about your grandchildren. Think about their children and what the legacy, what you want to leave for them. How impactful are the words that you're going to speak and what you say mean to them to make it even better? So I told her when she said 300 over 300,000 lives, she said, "Well, do you think that's really a daunting task?" I said, "No, because I fell short. Maybe I should have said 1,300,000 because
Mhm.
we got to continue to push this. We got to continue to
Yes.
Yeah,
we got to continue to push the level of expectation. We got to push the level of consistency. We got to push the level of drive in our men and women in our cities because, again, we can change the narrative, but we got to change the mind to change the narrative."
right.
Yeah, and we don't want people to lose faith on us as people.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Absolutely.
we can be a strong force when we come together. When we thinking right.
Mm-hmm. I always do an exercise. Not only do I teach that group, I teach another program which is called Strive, and it stands for Support Training and Valuable Employees. So I work
Mm.
with young men and women who are just recently released from prison, and they come in, and they feel that society has been against them, which against most of them have, they're warranted for feeling that way because that's all they know at that particular time. So I teach an intense 3 week program. Then the first I believe in meeting them where they are. Now, once we know where they are, then we have that opportunity to take them to levels which they was already inside of them, but they need to be pushed. So
That is
we work with that area. Then the next area we work with verbiage because we have the opportunity to get in front of everybody and say our message and say what we want or how we can best affect them, and especially in terms of employment, because that's what they're there for. So I help them with resume development. I help them with practice mock interviews. The last week of this cycle, we form companies. We do something, two things. We do something called company creation, where they take a company, build it from the ground floor up, have everything its entirety in their company, and we help them package this, and we start to send it out to banks, lenders, investors, those types of individuals who are willing to invest their money. Then we
Yeah.
also put them in front of companies themselves to interview for not only internships, for jobs, for opportunities within that organization. So it's about really taking a structure, taking our neighborhoods, taking our vision, taking not done with seeing. Let's execute that vision now. Let's put these people in a different mindset that kind of help. I don't say go forward all the time, family. I say help them grow forward because it's all about growing to get to where they need to go.
You talked to Sharif, the mayor, or what is he, the deputy mayor,
Mm-hmm.
Sharif Street
Mm-hmm.
in Philly about some the same similar program like that. I was
Yeah.
with you that day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so Papers is also a music artist that had a little, I don't know if you want to,
What, running with the law? That's what you
yeah,
would
a little
say.
running with the
No,
law.
brother, you didn't listen. Let me tell you something,
You
Papers.
know what I mean?
You
So
just
like,
you just you just had a learning experience. That's all you
Yeah.
did.
you
You just had a
learning.
learning experience in life, and that made that I
That's what I
entirely
was hearing now.
when I wrote something about that because again I write in acronyms, and I do it because I want you to be able to remember what I'm talking about. See, a lot of times we can go hear speakers talk, and we only remember a small percentage of what how they made us feel just for that period
Yes,
of time. But
yes.
but it's about leaving them something that's applicable or they can apply every day in life.
Mm.
So in the first season of the process, I wrote something called which I said is a foundation because we all need home, right? We all got to have that base camp. We got to have some place to go when we need to kind of regroup and get ourselves together. So
Right.
the very first message that I wrote back in 2019 was called Air. And when I presented to everybody, they looked at me and said, "Wait a minute, Mark, that's air." I said, "Yeah, but check this out. I'm going to add that extra R. That stands for accountability, integrity, responsibility, and respect." Now
Okay.
think about that for a second. We can't accountability. That is one of the deepest things that we have to get back to doing every single day. You talked
Right.
about you talked about taking looking back, taking a vision of self inside the home. I heard you before we came on the air. But we can't do that until we become accountable to who we are and what we're supposed to do. We can't blame somebody else. I had my own brush-ins with the law. I did my own dirt. I had my own things that weren't sub that were well below the standard of how I should be living. So I had to go back and take a look at myself and say, well, hey, wait a minute, Mark, is that what how you want to be? Is that how you want to be remembered? Or what do you want to do? So I couldn't blame anybody else. Secondly, I said there needs to be some integrity aspect in there. Doing what you're supposed to do when others aren't looking. Now, Papers, I know you say you get up every morning, your supplies, papers, everything done, left it out there in trash, and just pack up your truck, pack up your thing, and you can go. But guess
Mhm.
what? You got integrity, so you're gonna clean up that mess because that represents you. A
Right.
lot of lost art. People don't have integrity a lot of times. Then there's their responsibility. I am now, since I have met both of you, I now become responsible to you. I come so anything that I say or anything that I do, it has to reflect strongly on the Comfort Level podcast. It has to
Thank
hit
you.
hard on WCMW. I lived 13 years in the state of Arizona. I'm still responsible to the young men who I coach high school football out there. Back in Ohio, where I'm born and raised, here in the DMV, I'm responsible for these people every single day because now I'm trying to push a standard saying, wait a minute, I can't let you do that, brother. I can't let you do that, sister. We got to get better. And the last one, which is the most important thing in that acronym, is respect.
Mhm.
I feel that we had truly lost that a lot of times. We as we get, I don't want to say older, Jen, I'm saying wiser. As we get wiser, we realize the value of what respect is and how much and how important it is to make sure that we're talking to that, we're preaching to that, we're letting them know, hey, it's okay to disagree, but we don't have to do it the wrong way. I may not believe in how you're doing things, but that's my personal belief. That doesn't have to mean that you have to stop doing it. So Yeah, accountability, integrity, responsibility, and respect became my baseline, became my core to start to build the process off of. And from there, I took it and just ran with it. I have a book right now,
Mm.
which is called "If I Only Knew Then What I Know Now." But in each one of those messages, there is approximately 4 to 6 acronyms with messages inside each one of those series that means something. It means something not only personally, professionally, but for everybody to kind of gravitate to as well.
Yeah, and I see why
Numbers
you
like
actually
so
went for
backed
those
up on
certain
magic.
acronyms because they actually attract to certain people. You feel what I'm saying? On a
Mm-hmm.
different level. You know what I mean? Like you're more keen to open up to those things when you see those things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it more visual, and then it makes you feel like, all right, you can conquer whatever you need to conquer, because then it makes you whole when you understand everything that what you're trying to put together as one conglomerate to be a circle, so that people can basically get. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of complex, but I break it down in a mind.
You got it. You're on the right path. So after season one, I will end within season one. Right when I closed off, I said, "But there's something that I have to give individuals to make sure that they understand it." And I always go back and talk about learning opportunities. I don't say that uh, I say that the mishap, that the learning experience that both of us had, that a lot of us had, those were those were actually designed by a higher power to stop me and you from getting to other levels that we didn't want to go.
That's the way I think about it.
That,
Yes.
that was the break. That was somebody above us put the brakes on us and said, "Wait a minute, son, it's not for you. This is not for. Let me get you back together." So I wrote something called growth, and a lot of people said, "Well, man, that's kind of like air. That's kind of a little weird." I said, "No, but watch this." I said, "Growth stands for gradual reminder. Obstacles will test hope." Growth. Now, if you really think about that, every single day we have a reminder of some sort of obstacle that we've had or we go through. And I say obstacle is really an opportunity. It's how you look at it. It really is. It's an opportunity. But our hope is always being tested, no matter what we do. We opened up this show talking about the negative connotations and things that we see in society. We open that door, man, and we see craziness that's going on inside the streets and around us. So our hope is always tested. But internally, that is our growth. It's designed to push us from one level to another. And I always say, man, look, change is hard at first, it's messy in the middle, but it's rewarding at the end. So we got to continue to, when we see those things, that those growth opportunities, don't feel bad about them. Don't woe is me anymore. Embrace that, saying, wait a minute, somebody's got something ahead of me that I need to push for. Somebody's stopping me in my tracks right now to say, wait a minute, young man, wait a minute, young woman. It's time. I want to remove you from this. I want you to excel and be better, be the best that you can be. So these messages come from again personal experiences. They come from what I've seen throughout my 57. I'm gonna tell you 57 years of life. Wisdom, a lot of years of wisdom behind me. So it's so impactful that I have to share it. But when I said it, I know I'm running at you, but when I said it, there's three things that I wanted to make sure that my messages did. One, I wanted everybody to understand that I believe that my stories has the potential to change someone's life.
Yes.
Every message that I have, every message that I write, every podcast that I do, every TV show that I've been on, every radio station that I've been on, I have to believe that my story has the potential to change somebody's life. Number two, I believe my story is worth sharing, even if it only impacts one person. See, I'm not getting, I don't, 99% of the times when I speak for free. Why? Because it can change somebody's life. If I help save your your husband, if I help save your son, then guess what? That's more than money.
That's
Now,
more than money.
more than money. I don't. We got to eat. Don't get me wrong. We got to eat. However, that change that we got to get out that mindset that what's in it for me, right? No more transactional, transformational. And the last one that I said is paramount in everything that I do is I'm defined by what God says about me, not what other people think of me. I couldn't care if you agree or disagree with some of my messages, but my messages are for somebody.
Right,
Somebody's going to resonate from what I'm talking about.
right.
Somebody's going to understand. Somebody's going to understand legacy. And I said that legacy means
Hmm.
leader. leaders exemplify greatness among choices over the years. Somebody's going to get it. Somebody's going to take that and they're going to run with it, and they're going to go back and look in their family, and they're going to look in that most valuable piece of furniture inside their home, the mirror, before they walk out that door. That's the process. That's the process.
It's a deep process.
I can't say
Nah,
anything
because
because I know everything that he said is real.
you gotta
Because you
sort
know
it up.
what? You know what? Because he's been walking around for 57 years. I've been walking around for 62.
Mhm.
Okay, so I know what he's talking about. The whole entire purpose for the change that I made here on the podcast.
Mhm.
Whole entire purpose.
Mhm.
So,
What's amazing. I always tell everybody, life is so simplistic. We convoluted. We convoluted. We do the dumb stuff that cause situations for us to deal with. I didn't say problems. I said situations for us to deal with. But I really realized when the light bulb came on to me, 2020. I'm gonna say 20 years ago, because again, I'm gonna say 20 years ago because I was still doing dumb stuff in my
Yeah,
so,
listen, shoot, I'm
I still
39, still
yeah,
messing up. Like,
still doing dumb stuff. But I remember sitting down one day because I've always wrote down things that made sense to me. And I said, I wrote this down, I still live by it. I say most people don't change to the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
mm,
Most people
say
don't
that
change.
again.
Most people don't change to the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. You get sick and
You
tired of
get
being
that?
sick
I
and
gotta,
tired of
Do
where
you
you at.
get that?
that's like a dope
Do you
hot
get
line.
that?
Like, no, I get it. Like
Like,
that's
I think it
like,
went over his head.
no, I got it. I'm like, I'm ready to use that in a rhyme. Like,
Stay like that until you keep hurting.
Mark just gave
Till it
me
hurts
something.
so
You know what I'm
bad you
saying?
can't do nothing but
About to
change.
put in a rhyme. Like that joint was hot. Like it's gonna
But
go over everybody. Listen,
if you think about it, that's the truth. I mean, that is
that's
factual. We get sick. We've all heard that thing. I get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Well, that's what that means. You get tired of where you are, and you say something has to change. I've got to change. I got to really identify. Do I have a circle of people, or do I have a cage? I got to identify what's there. What is truly holding me back besides me? Because at the end of the day, we control the thoughts we think and the actions we take. That's on us, right? So
yeah.
you got to get to that mentality, and I encourage all of us and listeners, everybody that comes in contact with me, take that time to really think about where you are, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to grow. Don't be afraid of what society says about you, because you're not defined by what society says defines you, that identifies you at. You're defined by your own purpose. You're created unique. Everybody's unique. Nobody's the same. Zero. You were made with skill, with perfection, with the ability to be the best king and queen that you can possibly be every single day. Now go live your best life. Be accountable, have
Yeah.
integrity, be responsible, and have respect. And things will roll just the way they're supposed to run for you. It will go back
Yeah,
to
it'll bring good calm, good the morale will be always good because you following the good steps. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
and you can still do what you do, but you just follow a certain guidelines, man. You
Mhm.
follow the guidelines, I think you'll be all right.
Mhm.
That
You don't
follow the
understand.
guidelines.
Mhm.
So you got them guidelines spiffied up. You know what I mean? You can't, like, okay, I call myself a good person. I'm a
Mhm.
good person. But, over this past year, I done seen a couple loopholes, in my personality where, it's not appealing to other people, like my family members or friends, they don't like it. You know what I mean? Which caused some of them to fall back on me. You know what I mean? And that's a change that, I'm dealing with. Put it
Mhm.
that way. I'm dealing with it. And, I don't think that I like it.
Mhm.
I don't like the change. So, I want to fix it by improving myself.
Change is hard at first, messy in
Right,
the middle, but
right.
rewarding at the end.
At the end,
Yes.
Always
So,
rewarding at the end. I drew some controversy when I speak work with some of these men and women, as well as I was in Orlando over the summer, and I spoke at this venue with young men and women. They were all 16 to 18,
Okay.
and I went on stage and I said I'm gonna mess you guys up at the very beginning. And I, what are you going? What can you do to say mess us up? I said test this theory. I said remember something: words lie, actions lie, but consistency doesn't lie.
Right.
Right.
That's a test
Could
this
you be
theory.
a consistent liar? Could you be a consistent, consistent with what you do?
Words lie. Words lie. Meaning, I can tell. I've told so many things just to get my way over the course of my life. I've done so many things, action items, or what I wanted to see somebody else do by taking the action for them to get to my level, to get something that I wanted out of it.
Right.
But guess what? My consistency never lied. So when I realized and broke down who I was, I had to realize that I needed to change who I was and remain consistent. That's why today I tell everybody when I teach and I talk and all that, you can't get me off my square. You can't. I'm gonna be the same person I'm being here today. I'm gonna be the same one. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna laugh. This is Mark 24/7. Wasn't Mark 24/7 20 years ago? Tell you that wasn't. It sure wasn't. It sure
I
wasn't.
can imagine
You
that.
know what they say? I cut you from the rooter to the tutor. I wasn't the same person 20 years ago.
Yeah, he one of them. He was
so
one of
so
them. He
you
said,
go,
"Put
so
it
you
to
go
the
from the
tutor."
evolution to where you say, wait a
Go
minute.
to rooting is tooting is cheating and
You
flinging.
got to you got to change. You have to be willing, no matter how old we get,
Yes.
willing to grow and willing
Right.
to change some of the things to where you are to get better, to be
Yeah.
better, to realize your true calling and what you do. So, and I found that to be that words lie, actions lie, consistency doesn't lie. I found that to be another baseline of things that helps me stay centered. I'm going to be the same person every day. I'm going to walk out of this house. I'm going to walk out with a glow, with an extra W, gratitude living, others will witness. I'm going to walk out of here with a glow when I hit the street, when I go to work, when I go to the store, when I go to the bank, when I go to put gas, high and gas prices. When I go put gas in my truck, I'm going to make sure that no matter what I do, I'm going to have that smile, that
Facts.
Not at the gas. We're not smiling.
No,
I know
I
I
just
done.
smiled.
look,
I
I,
just smiled at the gas
because
station.
he came to
I
Jersey
filled
and
my
got
truck up,
some.
right? So he was the guy
He
at the
just
pump. He said, you said fill it up. He said it looked a little full. I said, well, listen, I got a truck, so
cap it off.
listen, put it in it. Man, 5 gallons got in there, and the needle looked like it was just dead, but it was 5 gallons. I said, see, you see why I put that little, and I gave him a 20, and it was like 24. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm high gas, and did it with a smile too. Look,
that's it. But you know what?
Crazy.
At some
24 when I was
we, we,
you
all,
know,
we all know that at some point that's going to change. It's
right.
temporary. It's temporary. It's going to go back.
Yes.
But we still got to execute everything that we have to do
Right.
in life with a smile and a positive mentality. That's it. That's all
Okay.
we can do.
Well, I have a question.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I want to see if you know when your lighthouse moment was when you realized that you had to make a change.
Back in two,
Ooh.
well, I'm going to say back in 2000 and it hit in this. Let me back up.
You said, hold on, you said
I
2000?
want to give it
Hold
to you.
on.
You said
I, I,
2000?
I'm gonna say two. Yeah, I'm 2000 something. Hold on now, brother.
All right,
I was
Hold up.
in 2002. My father passed away. My father passed away of cancer, prostate cancer. So again, men
Mine
back
too.
then, make sure you're taking care of yourself, take care of your business, because that's one of the leading killers of us. So
Yeah.
but prior to that, through I was a high school athlete, I was a college athlete, and me and my father did not have the most perfect relationship. And I was the main reason why we didn't have that great
Because
relationship.
you thought you was all that.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. And some, and some.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and he worked extremely hard. He worked extremely hard for myself and for my mom. I mean, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day to provide for us. And although I thought I was bigger than what I was, it came to a point to where I realized in my early 30s that that was far beyond the case. And it took me to move 1,900 miles away from home to realize how much I appreciated his knowledge and things that he gave me. So in 2000, October of 2002, he came to see me. I lived in Arizona at that time, and every year for his birthday, he would come see me, and we would go to Vegas. That was his thing. He wanted to go to Vegas. He wanted to gamble. He wanted to have a couple drinks. He wanted to have
Yeah.
a good time. He wanted to have a good time. So it would be me and him. We would catch a flight, a cheap flight to go from Arizona to Vegas. We
Yeah.
catch a flight, go over there, spend 2 or 3 days, come on back, recover. We need to recover from that time. But the last time that he came
His
in
name ain't Binky, is it? Say.
no,
Somebody I
last
know.
last time he
Somebody
came,
else I know does that.
yeah, he was here in October. He
With
came
their
to see me.
sons.
He came to see me in October of 2002. And I remember him getting ready to leave, and he sat my boys down. He said at the table, and he told him, he said, "I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to always take care of each other. I want you to always have that mentality. I am my brother's keeper." And my sons are 11 months apart, so they're like were like thick as thieves. So my father was a big
Sweet.
Cleveland Brown fan. Being from Ohio, he he went back to Columbus after that trip, and I had always every day after we mended our relationship, and I of course knew he had cancer. I called him just to say hi, hey pops, how you feeling? What's going on today? We would talk about sports, we talk about all types of things. Well, one particular Sunday, that Sunday, a Sunday specifically, I called him and I said, "Dad, I want to see you. Say how you doing?" And the phone rang and and no answer. I kept calling and calling, no answer. So I called my mom and no answer for her. So finally she called me back about an hour later and she said, "Mark, we're at the hospital with your dad. He wasn't feeling well." So I said, "Okay, keep me posted." And I had an internal clock, internal gut telling me something's not right. Something is just not right with my dad. So she called me back again later, a little bit later on. She said, "Well, they found out your dad has pneumonia, so they're gonna give him some IVs. They're gonna keep an eye on him and go from there." She called back literally about midnight that night and said, "Mark, the cancer has spread into his lungs and there's nothing that they could do for him. He's lost consciousness and we have him on a ventilator. I'll call you in the morning." So needless to say, I couldn't sleep that night. There's I can't. I'm 1,900 miles away. I just saw this man 3.5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and we had a great time. And she called the next morning and said, "Mark, the doctor said he's not going to make it. We have a choice. We can we're going to have to pull him off the ventilator because he's not going to have the quality of life that we want him to have. What do you do?" I'm the only child, so I said, "Well, Mom," that time it was November 16th. I said, "Mom, let's do it November 19th, November 20th, because my birthday is November 19th." I said, "I don't want that day, November 19th, to tarnish the fact that I pulled my dad. I was responsible for pulling my dad off life support." Um,
Mm, man.
she said, "Okay." So she went back and told the doctors. November 17th came, November 18th came, November 19th came. At that time, I was working at the University of Phoenix as a regional trainer. So I would go around the country and speak to individuals about the power of education. And I was in a conference and I was giving them a presentation, and my cell phone rang. And normally it was my son who was calling, my youngest son. And normally he called about that time, 3 o'clock, let me know he's home from school. He's 10 years old at that time. So I remember looking at it, saying, "Oh, he's telling me he's home, no big deal." So I get back to my office after the conference or after the presentation, listen to his voicemail. He said, "Dad, I was calling to tell you Aunt Pat called, Poppy died." So that was a portion of when that light bulb came on.
When the 19th?
It was November 19th, the
Wow.
day before he was supposed to be pulled off there.
Right.
My birthday is November 19th. So at that point in time, I was angry. I felt it took me, that was 2002. It took me to 2013, that gap right in there, defining moment gap, before I realized what that message was trying to tell me. So one day I was driving to work in 2013, and all of a sudden when I was driving, tears just start coming down my face, and I had to pull over because I couldn't drive, and it was just messing me up. So I got out the car and I said, "God, what are you telling me? What is going on? Why have you allowed me to suffer this for 13 years?" He said, just as clear as day, he says, son, there's no need for you to cry. Think about how blessed and highly favored you are. The day that I gave you life, 2000, November 19th, 1964, is a day that I took your father home to give him a real life, November 19th, 2002. How blessed and highly favored do you think that you are? And that resonated with me so tough to say I wasted over 30 years, almost 40 years of my life being angry, being upset, being selfish, being judgmental, doing all those things that life was not supposed to be. It took that act and that time frame of me intensifying the negativity, intensifying the anger, intensifying the transactional living versus transformational living for me to really get it and say, what I'm writing about now, if I only knew then what I know now. So I wasted a lot of time. I wasted a lot of time. So I would again tell any of your listeners, anybody that's listening right now, don't wait. Time is never promised to anybody. Exercise forgiveness. Take lessons from everything that you do in life. Understand that life is going to throw you curveballs, but understand at the end of the day, you have to manage those internal reviews that remove those opportunities that are missed. How do you do that? Your mirror. Your mirror. You manage.
Especially for the ones that you care about.
Absolutely. You manage those internal reviews. I had to. I had to go back and look at myself and say, man, you're a mess. Brother, you're a mess. And all because you're being selfish. All because you're being self-serving. All because you're not letting me work. And we all know that whether it's God, whether whatever higher being that you believe, they move when they move. So, I think I also go back and think now that, I don't know how I would have lived with myself if I'd have been responsible for pulling my dad off life support. November 20th. I don't know how I would have lived. I would always second guess and say, if I'd have kept him on one more day. Maybe if I did have found a cure, if I kept him on two more days. But God said, no, son, I'm going to bless you in a bigger way than what you did, than what you can imagine. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm going to make you humble again, but I'm also going to give you that power, that wisdom, and that knowledge to share what you have with other people. That's my story.
Imagine standing there saying, I can't do it, you do it. I
Mm-hmm.
can't do it, you do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? That was my mother. She was on life support. She it was DVT. So, the blood clot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when we did that, she just flatlined by herself. We didn't have to pull nothing. So that was God.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
was nothing but God because we
That's
wasn't
right.
pulling. We wasn't pulling nothing on mom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
So
couldn't do it.
so that was really the development of the
Sorry.
the initial concept of where I came with the process. Again, it is an everyday function. It is an everyday look back, an everyday look at life for what it is, and understanding again that we can make it as positive as we want to, or we can make it as negative as we choose to. I either choose to, because again, we control the thoughts we think, the actions we take, and the visions we see. It's on us.
You don't want to wait till it gets to the point of negativity.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
dig yourself out of it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be harder to mend, and most of the time, like you said, the outcome is not even as hard as you giving into it.
Man, you know what? I go back again. If I only knew then what I know now, I go back and think about, and I ask everybody the same question when I have a conversation with them at a event or I speak. Tell me the last time, if you're sitting here, tell me the last time you didn't get through a tough situation. What Cat Williams say? Go ahead, I'll wait, because you
You
got through. The
do everything.
100%, 100% of the
Do
time you
everything.
got through a situation. The results may not have been what you wanted,
Right.
but you got through.
Yeah.
So what did you truly learn about that situation and about yourself? You learned that you are strong. You learned that you're fully capable, and you know that you got the drive, because the human spirit is hard to break. It's hard.
And if you do more, better results.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm trying not to cry up in here.
It's dust in the air. It's a little
Yeah,
dust in there.
that's a
Hey,
little
you got
different.
you got
They
an
ain't come
HVAC. You got an HVAC guy in there. You got an HVAC
down.
guy in there. Come on,
They
papers.
ain't come down, but I
Yeah,
can't
The
see. See
ventilation
that?
right.
yeah, they need to clean out the vents,
But
man.
that's all we want. You know what I mean? Because the families are tore up from the floor up.
You don't
Uh-huh.
know how to be families no more, and it's hard, nowadays to
Mhm.
like build a structure, with people who like are defiant, like they don't care to have the structure, they don't care to, you know, to go along, or if they get in a messy situation, know how to clean it up or know how to be a better mate to each other. You know what I mean? Some people just give up, like, oh no, F you, I don't love you no more. I'm done. And then
Walking out,
it's like, no, 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 no. Like,
families broke
learn
up,
how to deal with the problems. Learn how to do, and that applies to everything in life. You feel what I'm saying? Not just
and then you get
marriage, not just, you know what I mean? It applies to everything, business, everything. You know what I mean? You apply it the same way. You gotta have that structure because
Mhm.
you lost.
And then you got the ones out there that they want to save the whole world, or at least their whole city or whatever. But you can't. You
You can't.
can't save
You
them
can't.
because you got to save that person. That's
I,
who's
I,
sitting right next to
I say
you. You
that
got
you
to save
save.
him.
Listen, if
I got
one
to save
person,
him. He got to save me
like she said,
first.
if one person, to break down what she said earlier, if one person saves a young life, right,
Mhm.
then everybody will save each other,
That's right.
because
We have to teach
all
him
it
now.
takes is just one person. So if you teach somebody, and then they teach somebody teach them, somebody, same on down the line,
We've been
Mhm.
saying this for
everybody is going
years,
to
but
teach
we're
each
not doing
other.
it.
You feel what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't. They don't
Again,
get the drive. You feel what I'm saying? So
we live in a
it is what
society
it is.
that we gotta
We don't
lose
have
that.
the time to do it because we got to work. We live to work. We
We
don't work to live.
we,
You know what
we
I'm
gotta
saying?
we gotta lose that selfish mentality. It's not my problem. Again, was that the first R? The first R in air, responsibility. You
Mm-hmm.
got to remember that it's still all of our responsibility. It's
Yeah,
not just, we can't pass the but. I used to say all the time, not my monkey, not my circus. I mean, it's not
right.
my problem. Not my problem. In fact, it is my problem. It is, because guess what? This what is going on affects my not only my grandkids, it's gonna affect my great grandkids. So
That's
what do I do? Do I just talk about it, or fuss to friends and colleagues? No, Mark, you got to get involved. Quit talking about it. Get involved, get into action, and help make that change. Help make that change. Again, what I say legacy is leaders exemplify greatness among choices over the years. That's
because
how you
we
make a
inherited it.
that's
That's it. We
that's how you make
inherited
a difference.
these problems.
Mm-hmm.
They came just like the president. You become
And
president
it's
of the
learned
United
behavior
States.
too.
All those problems that the United States had, yours now. Everybody's blaming you, but they was there before you got there
Right, just like
in office.
whipping kids, right? As black people, we never whipped kids back then. It
What you
wasn't in
mean?
our DNA. No, listen, it was proven that whipping kids came from early age of the Caucasian culture, and it was implemented in our life, our
And
way
then
of
whipping
life. You
us?
feel, yeah, and then we start whipping our kids. We never
Probably
really
so.
did it. We did it back in the African days. It wasn't whipping behind was not involved. We were a loving people.
And then
So
that goes back to that one word that you talked about, you inferred, or you talked about when you talked about people giving up, people just quitting. It's called communication. There was
mhm.
Yeah.
communication at that time. Whereas I can't even find it right now. We are so quick to give our kids the phone and to get out the way.
Oh yeah.
We're so kids to put our daughters in front of a television set for us to do what we want to do,
Go
instead
watch
of
TV.
leave me alone, go watch some TV, instead of taking that time to enact on communication. That falls in that bracket of respect
I'm
as well.
always
You know
listening
what I
to
mean?
the people
Right.
too.
It's all about that communication.
Right. Me and my 2-year-old, we throw the football back and forth to each other, and she she catches it and she throws it back like a big football. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
you
But
know
you
what I'm
know
saying?
what?
Like, it's fun time. So
Those are
I
time.
Don't
rather
be surprised.
interact.
She's
I rather
surprised.
interact than to like you said, and
Those
not.
are the valuable times, man. Those are not. There's no dollar value. There's no dollar
And you have
value
to
on that.
listen.
It can
You have
never
to
be.
listen.
No.
Kids are learning things,
And
so
I
you
did
have to
it.
listen to them to make sure that they
And
haven't
listen,
learned the wrong thing or have the wrong understanding of what's going on. You got to
yeah.
listen to them, and you have to make sure that they're thinking right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because if not, then that's only damaging their brains.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's some another thing that we talk about and we work on a lot is traumatic brain injuries and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Brain injury is an altered condition.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, is altered. You know what I mean? And the only way there's like no medicine to cure anything like that. You
No,
know
because
what
it
I
almost
mean?
feels like I
So
swear it
it's
almost feels like you having a
it's
stroke.
talking to Mark Smith. It's talking to me. It's talking to other people with like minds. So that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
put some repair, into the brain,
Mm-hmm.
damage and trauma. Yeah. Everybody's
Yeah,
quiet.
because it's real. I mean, it's true.
It's true.
It needs to be addressed. It needs to be
It's
addressed.
true. Like the things that we went through, while I learned a lot because on Thursdays, I have a lady that comes does the podcast with me. She's an authority. She has an organization called Rare Jewel, where she gives out life jackets to children and stuff like that because her lighthouse moment was when her daughter suffered a near drowning and now has a traumatic brain injury.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have some things in common, like some of the things that I was listening to you say, like your father or whatever. My father, he had prostate cancer as well, went to his bones, and I
Mm-hmm.
watched cancer come out the top of his head. It's and he died at home
Mm-hmm.
with me, and that's traumatizing as well. I want
Mm-hmm.
everybody to know that, and it's been a number of years I've been having that inside me. But my first grandchild over 30 years ago, he drowned.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's dead. Her daughter is suffering bad with, the brain injury. So, so she's taught me a lot about, different types of brain injuries, traumas, authorizations of the brain. But mostly, I listen to her with this environmental trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the world is in environmental trauma. It's all just like you said, it's a trickle down effect from everything that we've been through. It might be the smallest thing. It could stem from something someone said, drug use, alcoholism. We just learned that alcoholism is a brain injury.
Oh yeah.
Just learned that. I just learned that last week. Yes. So I had a guest on that told us all about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. You know what I
Well, I'm
mean?
glad marijuana don't.
Addictive, yeah, it's addictive personalities. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Marijuana too. It's an addictive personality that you have to smoke a joint every day. It's
Mm-hmm.
addictive. You know what I mean? So, like, it's part of it. It's part of trauma. It's not saying that your brain is messed up or
And
whatever.
it all goes back to what you use as a coping mechanism. What do you use to cope with? And
Well,
It's
well,
trauma.
well. Another thing too, because see, I have to use medical marijuana because my brain injury. You know,
Brain injury.
the I have like these like where I'm like awake and like face feels like it's turning and twisting in
You
different
stroking
ways.
out?
Yo, I swear, and like
Mm,
this stuff
That's a
is not
stroke,
normal.
man.
mm,
That's a
And this was
stroke.
when I was taking galactin, and I was like, and I went, and like, yo, I would literally be woke, and like my daughter, she like literally was watching me, you know what I mean, and like, and it was crazy because she was like,
You might be
and I
allergic to
was
some
like,
of that
and that
stuff.
stuff was
mm.
just at my face. So I use the marijuana keeps it down because I'll have those things where I go, ooh, and like
Mm.
those moments, and like I gotta grab onto the wheel wherever I'm at, like
You seen a
real
doctor
hard.
about that?
No,
Seem like you
but
having many
so the
strokes,
last
dog.
time I had one, I had it like twice, it was back to back, wow, and then the
Sound like you
last
on
one.
the verge of, sound like you on the
This one
verge of
was
having
real.
seizures.
This one was real long though. This time it was real long, and I was like, I thought I couldn't hold it no more, and I'm like,
I ain't
and
playing
like,
with
and
you.
it felt like I was really like slipping, ready to give up on it, and then like it just went away, and I was like, oh god, and I felt, I came back, and I'm like, all right, cool, but it's
Well, here with the
so
back
brain
injury,
injuries is tough to deal with when you don't know what they, what I
I
mean,
don't
what
really,
it may cause or where it come from, or
I don't really
you
think
know what I
that's
mean.
a back injury. That's you have nerve damage in your back. He had a few car accidents.
No,
They
no,
tore
it's
him up.
brain, it's brain,
Mm.
Huh?
it's brain.
Is your
I got
brain?
yeah.
All right. Well, he says his brain. Well, if it's your brain, you better make
That's his
sure.
story. He's sticking to it.
Yeah, it's his story. He's sticking to it.
I almost
He
died
better
in
make sure. He
2006. I
better make
remember the
sure that
day
it's not a
I remember
stroke.
the day that my brain messed up. Like 2006, I almost died. It wasn't for those people
He
coming to
better get
help.
serious.
You know what I
Mm.
mean? Help me at that
When that
time. I
happens,
would
you
have
need to
died. It was,
consult a
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So I already know.
I would
Or
definitely
I
seek.
what
I
I'm
would
saying.
definitely have, seek a physician's
It's just,
opinion on
what I
that.
mean. So, but we deal with things in life. You know what I mean? And that's what we
I
just
know
deal with.
my body. I know when something crazy is
We
going
deal with
on
Mm.
those things. You
because
know what
I
I
have
mean?
a back injury too from car accidents, and I was taking this one what's that stuff that I'm allergic to? Lyrica, and
Mm.
it made my face feel numb. I immediately stopped taking it. I reported to my doctor or whatever. They don't put the stuff near me. I knew what was going
Mm.
on. You know what I mean? But I did have a heart attack in June. So,
Mm.
and I didn't know I was having a heart attack, but
Yeah, a lot of
I
that
wasn't. I
happen.
did.
That's
I had pain, but I had pain down like on my right side, like on the side, like, and I was vomiting and having hot flashes. I didn't know, I wasn't like, oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming.
right.
Like it was nothing like that.
Mm.
No vice grip. You hear all that. No
Right.
vice grip feeling or nothing. Just like,
Mm.
oh, my stomach, something's
But
nasty.
you were lucky. You caught an early warning sign.
Yeah, I
Early.
did.
A lot of people don't catch those to it too late. If you'd overlooked it, just because it may have subsided on its own. But again, that's still something underlying that's about to happen in the future.
I probably would have if my daughter wouldn't have came over and told me to go to the hospital. I would have never went. I would have got
Mhm.
done. Because shortly after I was at the hospital, everything stopped.
Mm.
But they were still running the tests on me and everything, told me what was going on. But I probably would have never went. I would have never known.
Right. Right. Mm.
Yeah, but
It's hard out
it
here. You know what
is.
I mean? The message is clear for everybody that's watching. The message is clear, and we need to start working on ourselves. We need change.
Mm.
If we don't have any change, we're not gonna. We're gonna. We're not gonna get any better. Okay. And it's hard to say, those that want to get any better. If you want to get any better, step into some type of meditation, motivation, some type of something.
I would say, find your why. Find your
Find
why. Find your why. I mean, it's there. You really just have to look at yourself and accept why it is. Welcoming the happiness within yourself. You got to find that. You got to find what that drive is. Find what that motivation is. Find what keeps you pushing, and then harness, build from there. Just like you said before, we have to be willing. I use that word willing to step out and be the best that we can be. We got to be willing to make those changes and those sacrifices in our lives so we can grow. Stagnation is not for us. It never has been.
Right.
We are designed to grow in all areas of our life.
Well put.
That's it. Yes, well put. If I mean, you start out as a child, so your parents is there watching you grow. Who's instilling things in you? You know what I mean? Is you gonna let Chubby go out here and learn all this stuff from people outside of the door, or her initial learning is from you guys?
Yeah, with due respect, all the learning comes from the home within. You know what I mean, and then it spreads on the outside because you have to let your kids understand life. You know what I mean, on the outside, so that you can have some type of balance. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you always keep someone sheltered all the time, then they become this sheltered person. Then you harness they harness these bad habits. You feel what I'm saying? That are they seem good, but they're bad because then it shelters them and makes them seem like a loner and stuff like this. So you have to balance life out so then you can be a better person. You feel what I'm saying? When you look at life, you could be able to blend in. You know what I mean? Boom,
But
because you know about what's going on.
that's how I want to look at change as youth growing.
Mhm.
You have to start small and grow.
Yeah, with the youth, that's like as kid, I seen
No,
walking
I'm
past
saying
my
with the change. I mean, you're not
yeah.
actually a kid. I'm saying treat your change as you would raise your child.
What does
You,
that mean? Treat your change as you raise your child.
That's
I
right.
think you,
So
ha- I think you have to, you have to embrace it. You have to embrace the change. So just like you embrace your children, you got to understand that change is not. I said it. Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and rewarding at the end. Raising a child is hard. There's no blueprint for that. There's no
Right.
manual. There's just so many things that they're going to go
That's
through.
what I was saying.
There's so
and but
many things
let's
that they're
be
going to
very
go through
No
that
careful.
matter how much you change up,
yeah,
them kids still gonna be.
they're going to do.
But you
But you
have to
know
be
what?
very careful.
The great thing about it is you still have that impact to come back and say, there's so many things that I didn't think that I would get and be in resemblance of what my father taught me until I got older. I understand why he said what he said then. I understand
Exactly.
why he prefaced do this. I understand why he prefaced make sure that you read more. I understand why he prefaced it. You might want to stay out of that avenue or that wheelhouse for life
Yeah,
because
right.
this is what it could lead to. And we all are going to make mistakes. That's life. Our kids are going to make mistakes. They truly are. But you
Yeah,
just
they're
have
the ones that wait until they almost 29 to really
as
get it.
as a parent though, as a parent, you got to trust. You got to
You
trust and
know,
believe.
so
You got to trust and believe that you've done all the right things to set them up and
right,
gave them something that is so valuable called common sense.
right,
Gave them
right,
some
right.
common sense.
Absolutely, because right now I'm having a difficult time with my stepson. You know what I mean? I'm like dropping jewels on him every day. Bow, blue, bow. You got to do it like this. You know what I mean? Use your head for more than just a hat rack. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting it. Like I'll be like, come on,
Maybe it's
man.
the
And
way
he's
you
a
You know
say it.
what?
genius.
You know what? It's
So
So
not.
he's very
It's
smart. Maybe you
it's not.
gotta
It's
so
back
uh,
you got to remember. You got to
now
remember.
what they told me was, well, now listen, I'm just going to just do everything that I'm supposed to do because I already knew what I was supposed to do. I guess he found his little, what you call it, lighthouse moment. You know what I mean? Once he found out that, well, as they would say, the feds was running up in the house. You know who the feds is for the kids.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Boom. So now he feel like, no, I got to back up off this, no, because they ain't gonna take me down. You know what I mean? So now he want to get his act together. He want to do the schoolwork. You know what I mean? He want to pay attention. He want to clean up, handle his responsibilities.
Mhm.
Stuff that you would always instilling, but they wasn't getting because You know what I mean? But because he's a kid that's always at home and this is always being implemented, he has no choice but to have a lighthouse moment at 12 years old. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Some get it early, some get it late. Some get it now, or some get it behind beat till it's round. You know,
Mhm. You know,
but
I was always taught
that's
it's
the
not.
old school saying, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We got our
it's
butt whooped. You know, they got it
I was
easy
taught
now.
it's not if it's not if you get it, but when you get it,
Yeah,
you're gonna
you
get
know.
it. You're gonna get it. At some point, you're gonna get it. So
Yeah,
that's how we do it.
yeah. So it's all love and war, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I've always loved change. Change. My actual company is called Fetish for Change.
Oh yeah.
You know, I actually made a song, you know, due to that because you know, Fetish for Change.
Mhm.
Because I have a fetish for change. So I'm always implementing change in my life because I know that at every obstacle, like I got to jump over it. If you try to put a little wall over, no, I'm climbing it. I'm
Mhm.
jumping over it. I got to
Mhm.
change up because no, you're not stopping me. I got to keep rolling.
Mhm.
I'm like a jitterbug.
He's a
I'm like a
conscious
jitterbug. You see, I still got my
rapper.
coat on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I got to go. I'm on the go. I'm just ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm always ready. I'm just like, all right, ooh, smiling, chinning and chinning. But knowing that my life is still hard. At the end of the day, I walk out here and I go and I drive. I think about life. I think about what's going on. I think about my moves. I think what I got to do. You know what I mean? But then as soon as I see somebody, hey, what's going on? Yeah, paper man back with a bang man. What's up? What's up? Yeah, hey, what's going on? You know, just to so people won't know, you know, really what's going on because we gotta fight our own stuff by ourselves. It's only two people that they really love. You feel what I'm saying? That get the love and affection is babies and women. You feel what I'm saying? Men, we don't get love. We get loved on
See, we have
what
to
we can
change
do
that thing.
or what we can
That's the
provide.
stuff that
You know what I'm
needs
saying? Then that's when
changing.
they love the man. You feel what I'm saying? If I ain't got nothing, she ain't gonna love me. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I got a little something, now she love me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta.
Now she want to shake and bake with a player. You feel what I'm saying? But that's how it is. That's how it's structured. That's how it's designed. This is why I have that level of, you know, I could be hood.
Mentality.
I could be you know, straight up and down. You know, I could
Mhm.
be in the middle. I could be, you know what I mean? Because at those points in time, you're gonna need to be able to be a Camille to be able to be like, you know, to understand life. Like, man, you get it. Once you get it on those levels, you like, oh, just like all everything that you dishing out. You get it on this level, that. Boom, now you got it. It's one big circle.
But at the
Boom,
end of the
for
day, you
life.
know what?
And that circle
I got a
works for
famous
you.
I got a
You know
famous
what
thing
I
that
mean?
I got a famous thing that I always say is in life, we should be taught to play chess, not checkers. Everything is calculated, everything is directed, everything is centered around around
Mm-hmm.
strategically knowing what you need to do to get to the goal. But again, within that game of chess, you still want to make sure that you are doing things the right way. You
Fact.
can't take shortcuts. Shortcuts lead to being taken backwards, and you don't want to be taken backwards. So
Jack leg. That's what you were
yeah,
saying. You
yeah,
cut corners to a jack leg. You know
that's it. You have to make sure that you're
what I'm saying?
doing things the right way, and understand that at some point inside your game of chess, you are going to become stagnant. You are.
Cause
We
that's
become
like this. What's the fool saying of you know, they say the master of one is the you know what I mean? So boom, so they say jack of all trades is a, you know,
jack of all trades, master of none.
right. But at the end of the day, a jack of all trades is still a master of better than a master of one. You feel what I'm saying? People don't understand that that's the full saying of it. You know what I mean? They just take what they want from it and be like, boom, wow. No, even though you a jack of all trades, yeah, I'm a master. I ain't a master of one, but I'm still a master better than one. You feel what I'm saying? Because now I know a different. I know I got so many different
So you
hustles,
know a whole lot,
right? You
and
Mhm,
feel what I'm saying?
you're
mhm.
master
Yeah, and so
of
it's
one
cool to
thing.
be a jack of all trades to know different things because this is how you
That's how you
execute.
look
You got
at it.
five limbs. They all do different. You know, hey, what's up? Hey, yo, my feet walk. They, you know what I mean? Ears think. They, you know what I'm saying? So I do different things. So you gotta be able to be, you know, down to earth.
A lot of tools in your toolbox.
Right. And understand it. That that's like the straw man. It took me a while to understand the actual book because I was reading it like a book. Like, nah, I just read through it. Boom, I got to like page 19 and I'm like, light bulb click. Like, oh, I don't even understand. Oh, this is how you gotta do it. You gotta go to the reference, to the reference, to the reference, to the reference. Then once the reference stop, then go back, read again. Then once you go to the next one, the reference to the reference, to the rest of the now you get it. Now I get the book. Now I get the how the design of the strong man is, and how the different words and everything mean different things, and how certain things could be its own circle of life, and it's a million and different one things, but you can have a million and different one circles of life of how you interact with things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know if it's
Depends
making
on
sense,
what
but
comes to
you
you.
know what I mean. So it's many different variables out there. That's why we try to tell people, like, don't just think about just one thing when it comes to something. No, think about the different variables that can happen to it. You
That's
feel what
right.
I'm
Your,
saying? So
your
like,
different plans, your
open,
plan A,
open your
plan B,
mind.
plan
Yeah.
C. Yeah, absolutely. Always think.
Strategy of it. It's the strategy
Yeah,
of it.
because you could put yourself in
Yeah.
position, but it might be a position that your head cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, whoa, you didn't even see it out clearly. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, back to with chess. Like, you gotta boom, all right, you go make that move and be all jiffy and swiffy, but then
Mhm.
bang, bang, there you go. Now you in check. What's up?
Mhm.
Oh man, I don't know what happened. I ain't think it all the way through.
Mhm.
The better man got the better up on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's how life is, man. You gotta
Chess.
rock to your own bells and drum. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And take somebody else's advice and turn it into a gem. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, and you don't, you can't be afraid to fail. See, you
No,
cannot be afraid. You
no,
cannot be afraid to fail because
that's
again,
right.
what is failure? Failure means nothing if you learn something along in the process, right? You're not failing. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to work on. You know your strong suit. You know your weak. I don't say your weakness. You know your area of opportunity, right? You
They
know.
say stepping up your game.
Yeah, you need to make sure you need to understand exactly what you need to do from this point forward. So that's what again when we talk about change, don't be afraid of change. Okay, there's going to be some things that's going to the stop the stymie or stop that change at some point. But guess what? That what we call it pause. That's that pause and reset button. You know, we all got that pause and reset button. Sometimes we got to recalculate, like you
Yeah.
talked about
Go
thinking
down
about
the alley,
thinking about another opportunity,
turn
thinking
around.
about how to get it
You know
together
what I mean?
before you keep moving. So I would just think again, I would encourage everybody, please do not be afraid to of your endeavors. Most of all, believe in yourself because you're your greatest gift that you have is yourself. Don't ever shortchange yourself. Don't ever say I can't because you can, and always believe that you will get it done all every single day. You're gonna get it done. You rose for a purpose. Now let's get it done.
That's
Let's get
it.
let's
That's
get it
it.
done.
Every morning when you get up, you better thank God or whoever whoever you want to thank. But open your eyes. You better think that you're here because there's a purpose out there for
That's
you to wake up.
absolutely, absolutely.
You woke up for a purpose. You didn't wake up to cut the TV on and sit there on the couch and watch it. Or,
Mhm,
or if you did, something's coming on the TV that you need to see.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah. And most of the stuff that comes on television is things that are the world.
Oh yeah.
It's bad news. I gotta sit there and watch I Love Lucy all day long. Just not to hear nothing bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the worst thing is her doing some crazy stuff to Ricky.
Hmm.
You know, just to just not to see nothing bad.
Uh,
Yeah. Life again.
all
That's
all
what we
that
talk.
you have to know, you have to learn and understand tragedy and all that stuff. So it all plays a part in life. So it helps you grow. So you know what I mean.
Yeah,
And
but
take it with
why?
ease.
Why do you have to learn
It's a part of
tragedy? Like it's a lot of youth that are learning too much tragedy. You don't
In
have to have tragedy in your face every day.
you don't. In
no, not really.
each one of the series that I write in the process, I have a what I call a mission statement. And this one I called a global mission statement. And what I mean by global, I mean what I'm saying affects every single person all the time. And I said, made me think about when you were just talking about it. I said, in my life, I've learned not only who I am, but what I am. This allows me to understand the why in my process and to accept the blessings received to say, if I only knew then what I know now.
Mm.
Now, inside those are embedded 9 different acronyms or words that I've changed and flipped into acronyms. But the bigger picture about that is what we're talking about, taking that self-reflection, taking that time to kind of pause for a minute, go back and reassess some of the things that were said, taught, we watched, we learned from things that were good, bad, ugly, and then turn around and reframe those and accept again, as I say, accept the blessings received, because there was a blessings received in all those messages that we had, whether they were bad, whether we didn't like them or not, whether we got caught up, whether we got caught, whether we didn't get caught. There was a blessing inside each one of those to go back and say, if I only knew then what I know now. So I would ask that everybody take a moment and listen to those series. It definitely will change your life. It has the words and wisdom inside there that will make a difference in what you do and what you see on a daily basis. But more importantly, how to process it
Let
and
the
take
people know
control.
where we can find them at.
You can go to. I'm on Anchor. I'm on Spotify. I'm on excuse me, Anchor, Spotify,
So,
iHeartRadio,
so you're
Pandora.
everywhere you can get podcasts.
Anywhere you can get them. I have
And
YouTube videos as well. I did a short movie or a short video movie for If I Only Knew Then What I Know Now, the midpoint of the series. I
mm,
produced it 2 weeks ago, has 31,000 views already. So people are understanding that this is, as I said, my mission was a global message to get people to understand this is serious or what we are or where we're at in life. So all those, it's amazing to have an opportunity just to share. You know what I mean? We take for granted a lot of times how powerful our voices are, and we talked earlier. We keep talking about this one word, change. How effectively our voices can help put change on the mind of somebody. And if we're thinking about it, we can execute it. Once we execute it, it makes a difference all the way around.
so when we go look for your podcast, it's Mark V. Smith.
Mark Smith, the process.
Mark Smith, the process. I already followed you on Anchor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, my podcast, the Comfort Level Podcast, is on all the same ones as
Mm-hmm.
well. So
Mm-hmm.
we follow each other. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to be listening to those segments because it's going to define everything that we talked about today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Mm-hmm.
it's great. So you guys, everywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can find Mark V. Smith, the process. We also going to be posting it more on our social media as well as this video, so that if you miss anything, you can recap everywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
we're on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Um, just we are what you call it? Doing it on, we're live on the Instagram right now. We have it on there, even though Instagram is not connected in our stream, but we still have it on the Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing more platforms as much as we can. Every time
Mm-hmm.
we can get a good connection, we're going to connect. So we're trying to spread the word as far as we can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the ad.
No, 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 no. I would. I can't wait to just listen. To see what he has to offer in those.
Yeah, because I really want to follow up on some of this stuff we've been talking about, because it's gonna, not that I'm not getting it from what you say or anything like
You
that,
always
but
gotta go back and
oh yeah,
reassess
elaborate,
and recap on, like I
and then
always
it's
go back
there.
and look at the show. So
Yeah.
then I
Mm-hmm.
got, oh, heart, boom, anything I might have missed, or you feel what I'm saying? Anything like,
Mm-hmm.
or I might wanted to hear again. I'll be like, oh yeah, because I remember I want to. Oh yeah, I'll get that later. 'Cause
And
Mm-hmm.
one good thing about the podcast and recorded speeches, anything that's recorded, put it that way. You can always go back and reference to it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So, you know, such as, well, social media made as good as a book.
That's right.
You
That's
know what
right.
I mean?
It's
Or
always again.
as well, but
It's always again. It's always a blessing. I love what you guys have put together. You're making a you are doing the epitome of what I talk about. You're making a difference. You're
that's
out there. You're giving a message. You're sharing of yourselves. When we talk about your time, your talent, your treasure, you're sharing it with everybody right now, and then they continue to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
So we that's what we have to do together. We have to collaborate together. We have to work together. We have to because we're on the same page. We truly are. We want the same
Because I
war,
would love to take your course,
the
man.
same results. We want the same things out of life to again what I talk about to make a change for the future. To make it better for our kids, our grandkids, and our great grandbabies at the end of the day. And I'm really glad. I mean, you go back and think about it. And they say one of the greatest things that came out of COVID was again, I'm sorry for everybody who lost family and friends. That's not good at all. But one of the greatest things is if had it not been for COVID or what has gone on, none of
come
us could have connected. We wouldn't have connected. We couldn't have connected.
I
We
said,
like minds could not
yeah,
have collaborated together to push things forward for other people to as I say, grow forward. So
Fact.
it was an intended message or intended thing that was set up inside that storm that allowed people to help navigate and unify and become one.
Right, a lot of
So
people think
that's
they're
what
right.
I said. I said the same thing the
Ain't
other
no
day.
doubt,
Like
man. Ain't no
the
doubt.
COVID did some things for us
Mm.
that we don't even know about to bring forth
Change courses of
some
people's
change.
lives. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like
Now,
mhm,
a whole lot of
on
rotation came about
on
that.
the
You know
other
what I mean?
hand, when we talking about trauma and stuff like that, some people got to some good stuff.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
they made the change. They put the pedal to the metal. You know
Mhm,
what I
Because they seen the
mean?
opportunity and all. It was a lot of
Yes.
opportunity out here
mhm,
too.
Yes, they
You
mhm,
put
see
the
it.
pedal to the metal
You see
and
it.
got things together, make flip the script, whatever
mhm,
you want to call it. And they live in happy, constructive lives and
mhm,
brand new businesses and
mhm.
things like that.
They
You
know
know
how
what
to
I
weather the
mean?
storm.
Yeah, because
That's it.
we realized that we had to help each other.
Hmm. I
Right now, I
call
got
it.
a
I wrote.
business.
I wrote a series. I wrote my series.
Start.
My series was entitled when I released it in March of 2019. It was called The Perfect Storm.
See?
Mm.
It's called The Perfect Storm. And I wrote all my messages inside the very beginning of COVID, just because there was something speaking to me saying, "Hey, man, there's so much that people can get from this that they don't see yet." You know, remember I said it earlier. Some people can see, but not many have vision. So
Exactly.
that was it right there. It was something there that you need to take advantage of this opportunity to where we had nothing but time, nothing
Mm.
but time. You know, if you needed to refresh and get further education, you had the time. If you need to work on yourself, you had the time. If you need to mend relationships, you had the time.
At the
If you
time.
needed to, yeah, if you needed to kind of read your mind head totally right and reframe from and slow down from the streets and doing what you were doing, guess what? You had the time. You truly had the time to do
At the time. Good time. You right.
That's it. Yeah, your
Yeah.
time's
Well,
up.
I'm definitely gonna get with you though, because I want
Time's
to know how
up.
to build that business. You feel what I'm saying? Get in front of those people and get those
it. Okay.
loans. This
You want to
I
get
got
in
this gardening
contact,
thing
find out.
going on when I do gardening that
Okay. Yes.
definitely.
Shoot me your contact info, and we'll connect
Mm,
and we'll talk about some different things and find out what you want to do, and I can help point you in the right direction with some people as well.
absolutely. Now, what part of the where you from again?
I'm right outside of
Oh,
Baltimore. I'm between Baltimore and DC. I'm in Laurel, Maryland, so I'm
Oh,
right in
okay.
between.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because my wife, she goes down to DC to these farming conventions.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because she's an agriculture,
Okay.
so she does a lot of like going out there, and then they got a little club, and they all get together and think about what they could do and how they could conquer, the world with, farming. So,
Mhm.
so that's because Bill Gates is trying to take that over. So,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, trying to
I
get
know.
in there why it's sweet. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah, and I know how to grow. So now, like I've done it, so it's easy. It's like, and I'm about to boom when I come out. Wow, I just want to teach a whole bunch of people, kids and stuff like that. All that, like it's going. Yeah,
Absolutely. I get it. I get it.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely shoot me an email and with your
Okay.
contact info, and we'll definitely connect, and we're able to um
Appreciate it.
able to make sure I can get stuff to you.
All right, Mark. Well, it was a pleasure. We thank you for coming and voicing yourself
Yeah, we got.
and putting your business out there and the things that you do and you love.
Mhm.
And again, opening yourself up to the world, in a different
You
way.
may have saved one young life. We got a caller.
Oh, wow.
Let's see, maybe they may have a question for you. Hold on a minute. WCMD, the couple level podcast, you're live on the air. How may I help you? Maybe they ain't saying nothing. Could be some spam. We get some spam too.
I get on my
Oh,
cell phone too.
nobody's here. All right. At least we got prank caller. We take prank calls too. Like
Frank Collins,
they may have a good question.
Uh-huh.
We can't
Maybe it got answered. Maybe it got answered.
which was
nobody.
nothing. But thank you for coming on and hope to see you again and talk to you again and look
And
forward
I will
to what you
stay in
have coming up in the
contact
future.
as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we'll keep on spreading what you have to offer to our people. But if there's somebody in your area that wants to get with you other than your email address, how do we share that?
They can go to my website, which is the processmarksmith.com.
Okay, I have it.
Yep, they can
All
do that.
right.
That's the easiest way to catch me.
Okay, the processmarksmith.com. We'll be posting that up on our Facebook page, and my website will be posted up so that people can contact you. And
I appreciate your
get
time
what they
and
can
thank
get,
you everything.
get their change, reach their lighthouse moment.
That's it. That's it.
No, follow the process. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, you can't stop the process.
Yeah, I mean, follow the process.
I think that's a good title too, as well.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we got some overseas viewers on here. I can't even pronounce their name. Annalena Taramig. We got Bepew. We had Laurie Edwards Jr. and Meek 46th Street. Came in, made a couple heart comments, things like that. And,
Good.
but not really any questions or comments for
All
you.
right. Well, anytime they know how to get a hold of me, just reach out. I love to connect and remember, your why is greater than your situation, which is part of your process.
All
Wow,
right,
there
Mark
we
Reed
go.
Smith, everybody. Thank you
Like
so
way to
much.
carry them out there.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That was real professional like that.
Nice.
See, black people doing good things. You know what I'm saying? That's what we like to see, people. You feel what I'm saying? Black people doing good things and spreading the word and knowledge. You feel what I'm saying?
We
And
about to be
giving
out
it
here. We're
all.
gonna leave y'all.
We're coming home, stepping over new stepping stones to a better home. We're looking forward, shit, I see the throne. I'm in the zone, deep concentration, consent the game deflating. Better give it new life, roll the dice, you relating. No striking out in the ninth inning, that's my opinion. Bigger and better things I need, that's surely convincing. I'm tired of bullets flying, running from cops, hopping fences. And the government got a nerve to ask why we defensive. Protests and riots, standing up for our freedom. You dig it? Ball your fists and raise it to the sky for what you believe in. We on the brink, on the edge, ready to jump and leap. Because we running the civil war, we want in peace. Thinking clear with aim, ready for dire change. Always getting the short stick, taking all the blame. That's what my people go through, always did, and they had. Back to the drawing board, create a monster in the lab. Where my people, my righteous people that's fighting back. Taking matters to their own hands to avoid a trap. Government access our certain race limited occupation. A nation created with dominance is the law of nature. When my people, my righteous people that's fighting back. Taking matters to their own hands to avoid a trap. Government ostracize certain races with an occupation. A nation crammed with dominance is the law of nature. If looks get killed, price strike a deal. Before I have to hit him, take a mill. Kill a nigga off for nothing, like Ian Mattel. Feeding for money and marijuana and prima donnas. With a crazy lick on life, added dark persona. Whoa, that come from drugs, alcohol, street drama. Government pushing to the point I wanna cause terror. That's what they calling it now. I call it being rebellious. Cops killing my black lives like it don't matter. Leaving families all broken like glass and shatter. Claim to be scared when they supposed to be trained for this matter. This is a modern religion, served as a growth disaster. Let's get the marching and changing laws to break the cycle. Hating us for so fucking long, it might come back to bite you. What you think gon' happen when you trap me in the corner? They gon' get to fighting and striking back without no warning. Huh? With my people, my righteous people that's fighting back. Taking matters to their own hands to avoid a trap. Government ostracize certain races made it occupation. A nation crammed with dominance is the law of nature. With my people, my righteous people that's fighting back. Taking matters to their own hands to avoid a trap. Government ostracize certain races made it occupation. A nation crammed with dominance is the law of nature. I don't blame y'all. I blame the government for setting the trap and leaving us dead and die. They say they helping and help, there's no helping at all. Crime on the streets is still crime. More broken families and financial hardship. It should be a tax write-off for family members in jail. So they can get it cut up that 30,000 y'all make a year. I'm so sincere. And for the record, y'all started this war and you ain't winning. You should have had a big joint. And maybe you did. Covered the stench, blinded our eyes, and fucked us with the crack in the 80s. I heard you buy it by the ton, distribute it out by the straw man with a fake name and fake claims. Y'all niggas lame. We bout money and business to make deals. We feed our families and families look us and depend on us. We see the light, but you make it dim for us. You see the trials and the tribulations that you put people through. Back against the walls. Snitches and money and bills. Y'all built this empire that wouldn't fall, only to fall on the ghetto and employ the system, forever having jobs. All lawful sentences handed down like it's car tickets. Now this shit crazy vivid and our babies living. What the fuck is going on? I'm about to change the gimmick. With my people, my righteous people that's fighting back. Taking matters to their own hands to avoid a trap. Government ostracize certain races made an occupation. A nation crammed with dominance is the law of nature. With my people, my righteous people that's fighting back. Taking matters to their own hands to avoid a trap. Government ostracize certain races made an occupation. A nation crammed with dominance is the law of nature. Hey, Paper Man back with a banger man.
We had to bring, I had to bring the banger back. Paper Man came back. We brought the banger back. We about to be up out of here.
Yeah.
We know we got, 10 minutes to go. But guess what? We had a good day and we out.